What you are going to watch is a gear breakdown of what Eric uses to shoot wedding films. Please note that none of these things are sponsored. He has purchased these things himself and just wants to share how they are utilized. Viewer impulse buying discretion is advised.
In this video, each piece of gear has its own specific use case. Each camera has one lens and one tripod to do one job. This makes everything straightforward. No worry about switching lenses here or changing the setup there. The layout might change, but the rules stay the same. And if this sounds confusing, stay until the final chapter where I share some examples of what I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's dive into the 5 cameras that I use on a wedding day. So first we'll talk about my Nikon Z6 small rigs. If you haven't seen my video breaking down the entire rig, check that out first. So yeah, these rigs are exactly the same, they just have different lenses on them. This is mine, the Nikon Z6 Mark II with a Z 50mm f1.8s lens on it. I used to use the 35-85 combo for a lot of my photo and video early on, so the 50mm just kind of felt like the right, perfect middle ground for me to use all day. And the 35mm went to the other rig. Most people find it easier to shoot with the 35mm all day, especially for wide shots like for the first look or prep, stuff like that. And the shakiness from being handheld is also a lot less noticeable on the 35, where like me, where I love to shoot handheld, my steadiness is a little bit better when used on a closer lens like the 50. So that helps this as well. So yeah, we use these 2 cameras most of the day, but for the bigger events, we have to add more cameras like the Nikon Z50. This camera is real simple. It's my wide angle. This is the Nikon Z 14-30 f4s lens. 14 on a crop sensor is about 21mm, so it kind of mimics a 20 or a 24 lens, which is great. And the f4 honestly doesn't bother me at all because it is a wide shot. I do want to be able to see everything, so I would probably step down to that anyways. So yeah, man, this thing is great. It captures the whole scene. It gets, you know, the applause, the laughter, all that kind of stuff, and is a good shot to cut to in case both the second shooter and I are adjusting our shots at the same time. Meanwhile, the other Z50 is the complete opposite. This rocks a Nikon Z 70-200 f2.8s lens. And this camera focuses on the main activity. During the ceremony, it captures the down the aisle shot or their vows from the opposite side of where they're speaking. And for speeches, it's pretty simple. It's focused on the speaker. And since this lens is on a crop sensor camera, it gives me more of like a 105 to 300 zoom range, which is essential. See, while full frame looks great, stellar compression can have a similar effect. See, for like the speeches, I prefer to stay as far back as I possibly can to achieve the maximum compression that I can get, while also staying out of the front couple tables, you know, guests, because if you know, you know. So yeah, I mean, with that, it's 2 birds and 1 stone. And the 5th and final camera may surprise you, but it's the Sony Handycam FDR AX700. I know that's a mouthful, but listen, this camera is like the Fuji X100 series for video. People just react differently to it. People actually recognize this, you know, whole thing as a camcorder. So, and they just seem like to be less intimidated by it. So it's just like people are just, if you shot with a Fuji X100 series, you know what I mean. I use it as my video booth camera to get the best responses. It's also a great all-arounder and serves as a backup for any other cameras if needed. It has manual controls, dual recording, built-in NDs, and more. I'll make a full breakdown or a long-term review of this camera coming soon on the channel. So we'll do a bird's eye view of like each common wedding event and show you where each of these cameras would be placed so you can kind of have a better understanding of where I use them, how I use them, all that kind of stuff. Helps you see the benefits of having a dedicated setup for every camera. It simplifies the process, keeps it organized, and ensures you get the best shots possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions or need more details, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you in the next video where I break down all of my audio equipment in the same fashion as this video.